Hi, Deron. How you doing? Okay, thank you very much. Now I read what you had to say about your submission. You dislike how busy it is. Okay, yeah, sure. We can take a look at the logo. Absolutely, it's too much. There's too much going on, and I think that it's monotonous, meaning literally monotone. And I think that there's some things that we can do here to really improve this, and it's going to be an easy fix too. Okay, so first of all, you've got too many visual identifiers. Right now, you've got one, two, three, four, text five, text six, surfboard seven, colors eight. You got eight or nine. Oh, and then that crazy funky K. You got eight or 10 different visual identifiers, and good logos have two, maybe three. Great logos might even get away with one. Oh, I think Nike. Okay, so right now the eye just gets confused. This isn't going to make sense to anybody because this is a classic example of Hick's law, where everything you add takes away from everything that is there. So right now we start taking things away. My recommendation would be this: let's get rid of the tree, let's get rid of the smoke in the cup, and this can stay. I think that's good. That K is so funky because you're trying to fit a tree into it that it's just not fitting. All right, and then the bean's got to go too. I'll reshape the surfboard so it's not so pointy. Right now, that in terms of visual communication, that hurts, and we don't want to see that. So round that out, and then finally, my final recommendation would be watch your color. Right now, you're using a cool colors to represent two warm things. Number one, Hawaii. Number two, coffee. So I would definitely rethink the color of the background. I personally would go with tans and dark and reds, and that's all I'm going to say. The rest is up to you, but that's what I'm going to say. As I said, flower state, maybe just one flower right there. Work it. Just right now, think Hick's law. Too many things. Every time you add something, it takes away from everything else. Okay, let's take a look now. You've got your profile. Awesome. One thing I did notice is, where was that? Okay, logo, profile. Yes, got it. Okay, this right here, this is not the correct shape. This is a different shape than the logo that you're using. Take a look what happens when this is clearly elongated. So watch that. You don't ever want to change the uh, proportions. You don't ever want to alter the proportions. You constrain the original proportions always. That's what logo's all about, consistency. Okay, black and white version looks good. Again, I think that looking at the black and white, once we make those adjustments, and for color, you're not going to have any, so you'll have black and white. Therefore, I would suggest playing with this relationship of the stroke on the surfboard, because right now I think it's too frail and thin. It's not holding up well to the thickness of the stroke of the type. Think about that. Okay, so, and then you have your okay, so you have your what's better beans with better coffee. That goes. That's got to go, because it's not in. I'm not seeing that. What is that? Okay, so you're saying that it's a bean height, a bean width, and that's not enough. That's not enough. I wouldn't want anything that close to my logo. I really wouldn't. If I were to set this up, I would use the K or something. Otherwise, you're going to get designers who are going to try to stick stuff right up next to your logo. And you don't want that. So I'm going to say that area is too small for a safe, clear distance. Typography looks great. Incorrect usages. Okay, yes. Hey, you broke your own rule. That's cool. I'm just messing with you. All right, so yeah, good, great, good. Nice, very good. And for those of you who are watching along, this is an action shot. This is what I'm talking about. I'm saying that this is how you mock something up. So you're putting an image in the viewer's mind instead of just showing this or showing it on an Illustrator line drawing. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is a really good presentation here. Excellent. I don't know if that's the right shot. I mean, I think you could get a better shot of a billboard to get this. This is what you want to say. Let's go ahead and do it. But let's get a better billboard. This is the background's just really like almost like, I don't know. It's just really looks like somebody just shot it out their car window. Let's get a really professional, slick, shiny, slick picture image of a billboard. Preferably not up next up to a building either. Okay. Hey, that looks good. Excellent. That looks good. That looks good. Great mock-up. Very good. Very good. Collateral stationery. I wouldn't use, well, boy, that's a tough one. That's so cliche. That's so cliche. So you have your letterhead, your business card, I mean your envelope. Where you got the business card. Okay, so there's a problem here because I'm not seeing a whole lot of visual consistency between this and this. It's actually there's very little because this has this kind of gray background and you're using the colors even though you are giving hints of that background color. I mean that logo color. And then over here, you don't have the nice relationship of the brown with the text. So this is not very consistent. The letterhead is not very consistent with the business card. And as such, following that, the letterhead, the envelope isn't either. Okay, that's kind of a cool idea. I like that. Like inner office stuff or mail drop or something, whatever. Anyway, so good job, good job. Again, this is an Illustrator. Put that in a real clipboard. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you some examples in a second. Okay, so you got your Kahuna, Why have you introduced a new color here? All of a sudden, we're what, 13 pages, 14 pages. And that's the first thing I would say if you were sitting across a desk from me. Well, we're 14 pages into a branding, and now you're going to introduce green? Wait a second. No, can't do that. I hope you understand that. It's pretty important. These are really good renderings. They're really wonderful renderings, but boy, they're not going to stack up to either a Photoshop mock-up. And don't forget, if you haven't taken a look at that those videos I placed in over there. These guys right here are corporate identity examples. There's a video in there. Take a look at that. It shows you a whole bunch of different examples.
Dining by some of my advertising or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, all sorts of different stuff that it's definitely applicable directly to this piece. Okay, so be sure to take a look at that. Okay, and then we have collateral, gift cards. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Again, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say, okay, what does this look like to me? It looks like you've taken a picture, an image of a t-shirt and plastered the logo over it. All right. And instead of maybe taking an action shot in Photoshop, take a shot of somebody behind a coffee counter serving somebody. You can find that shot all day long. Find shots of a barista, or what I think they're called, and use that and Photoshop the logo right on the shirt. You can even do some effects that make it look like it's embroidered. And better yet, find somebody with a shirt and a hat and holding a cup of coffee. Take a look at that video because I have an example of exactly that. An employee with a hat, an apron, and a tray full of coffee cups, all reinforcing the branding. So be sure to take a look at that. Let's move on. And thank you very much. Okay, so I think you're really doing a great job. You got the idea. Let's take a look at this. I think this could be, again, even though I just got done saying it's a great idea, and it is a great idea, but let's get in there and let's get this relationship, okay, with the background. And I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't know. Maybe you paint, since you got the edge of the business cards painted, the background color of the logo, maybe paint that wall, that color. Not the whole thing, just the underside, just to mimic that business card, right? Add a little color, maybe even increase the size. Work it out. Make it look like it's part of the building instead of pasted on the building. Then get in here and maybe, put a poster on the wall. Maybe another poster on that wall or hours or something, all associated with the branding, and then maybe a poster in the window. You know what I'm saying? So really, really pull it together. Let me show you an example. This is a pretty successful example. Just going to go through this really quick of this portfolio. Here's business card, letterhead, envelope. That's personal branding, and then here's more personal branding stuff. But I'm just going to go through this really quick and show you some different presentation ideas. Here's the corporate identity. So everything's mocked up and actually shown in actual photographs. They're all photoshopped. And that's obviously Photoshop. So the advantage here is that you're showing realism. so the viewer is actually seeing and imagining in their head that this is a real thing, as opposed to, and of course, no offense, please, but as opposed to, you know, a illustration with the logo. I hope I'm making sense. I really do. It's important to me that you understand this. So if you don't, by all means, please let me know. Okay, because I really want you to understand what I'm saying here. And it's all about presentation, Dorada. It's all about presentation and what are you saying about the presentation. So, yeah, I mean, the work is great. It's good. It's good stuff. Everything, you're really paying attention. And that much is obvious. So anyways, those would be my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions, of course, please let me. Oh, geez, I'm almost 11 minutes. I'm so sorry about that. And I'm going to let you go. So let's just go ahead and say, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything at all, if I can give you more assistance, just please let me know. All right? Thank you.